The bell rang at St. Clair High, echoing through long, cold hallways, where laughter and whispers clashed like invisible storms. Among the flood of students rushing for their next class, one girl walked alone, head down, books held close to her chest, steps small and silent. Her name was Lina Ward, a 17-year-old transfer student from a quiet town far away. Her small frame, oversized hoodie, and thick glasses made her blend into the background like a shadow nobody noticed. Or rather, like a shadow everyone ignored, until the wrong kind of people noticed her. For weeks, Lina had been the target of whispers, cruel laughter, and passing comments that stabbed deeper than any knife. She's so weird. Did you hear how she talks? Probably lives on a farm or something. And then came the group, the ones who ruled the halls. Tasha, the queen bee with her perfect curls and venomous grin, Megan, her loud-mouthed sidekick, and Brent, the tall jock who loved watching others squirm for fun. They had turned bullying into sport, and Lina had become their favorite target. It started small, a snicker when she raised her hand in class, a shove when she passed in the hallway. Then one day, Tasha accidentally spilled juice on her notebook, laughing as the pages turned soggy and red. Lina didn't react. She just stared at the stains, took a deep breath and whispered, "It's fine." Her calmness made them furious. Bullies feed on reactions, on tears, on anger, and Lina gave them nothing. It wasn't because she was weak. It was because she was trying to stay invisible. But today, the invisible girl was about to vanish for all the wrong reasons. After lunch, when most students were still in the cafeteria, Lina walked toward her locker. The hall was nearly empty. Her reflection in the locker mirror showed tired eyes but a hint of something else. A quiet fire buried deep inside. She was rearranging her books when a voice sliced through the silence. "Hey, country girl, Tasha?" called from behind. "You got a second?" Lina turned slowly, clutching her notebook. "I need to get to class." "Oh, relax," Brent chuckled, leaning against the locker beside hers. "We just want to talk." Before she could move, Megan slipped behind her and grabbed her hood. "Don't run. You might trip and break your glasses." The three exchanged cruel smiles as they surrounded her. Panic flickered in Lina's eyes, but she stayed still. Her heart raced, not from fear but from something darker, something she had promised herself she'd never let out again. Tasha's tone turned cold. "You think you're better than us? You walk around quiet like you're too good to talk. Maybe we should fix that." Brent cracked his knuckles. "Storage room's empty today," he said casually, pointing to a door down the hall. "Perfect place to, chat privately." Before Lina could protest, Tasha grabbed her wrist and Brent pushed her forward. "Let go," she whispered, but they didn't. The sound of her books hitting the floor echoed as they dragged her down the hallway, past the cleaning sign, past the flickering lights, and into the dark storage room that smelled of dust and old paint. The door slammed shut behind them. Tasha leaned against a stack of boxes, smirking. "So, Miss Quiet, any last words before we fix that attitude of yours?" Megan laughed. "Maybe she'll finally cry today." Brent shoved Lina lightly toward the wall. "You really should learn to stand up for yourself." "Oh, wait, you can't." Lina's breathing slowed. The faint light from the small window above barely touched her face. Her eyes shifted, no longer wide and fearful, but focused, sharp. "You shouldn't have done that," she said softly. Tasha frowned. "What? You shouldn't have touched me," Lina repeated, her voice steady now. Something in her tone made even Brent hesitate for half a second. But Tasha rolled her eyes. "Oh, please, what are you going to do, cry on us?" Then it happened, so fast that none of them saw it. "Coming." Lina's hand shot up, grabbing Brent's wrist mid-motion as he reached to push her again. In a single, fluid move, she twisted it backward, hard. There was a sickening crack, followed by a scream. Brent stumbled, eyes wide, clutching his arm. Tasha froze, her mouth falling open. Megan screamed, "What the?" Lina stood straight, her hoodie sleeve slipping just enough to reveal a thin scar along her forearm. Her breathing was calm, precise, like someone who'd done this before. "I told you not to touch me," she said quietly. Tasha stammered, You broke his arm." Brent groaned on the floor, sweat pouring down his face. "You psycho—" Lina turned her gaze to him, and something about her calmness was more terrifying than any shout. She stepped forward slowly. "I don't want to hurt anyone," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "But you forced me to." Tasha backed up, tripping over a box. "You're crazy!" "You're wrong," Lina interrupted. "I'm trained." The air went cold. She took a step closer, and for a moment the room felt smaller, heavier. Her every move was calculated, the stance of someone who knew how to end a fight before it started. The flickering light from above caught her eyes, and they no longer looked like the eyes of a scared girl. They looked like the eyes of someone who'd seen violence before, someone who'd survived it. Megan reached for the door handle, fumbling, but Lina's voice stopped her. "Don't." Megan froze. "You think I want this? You think I asked to be this way?" Lina's tone cracked, pain hidden beneath strength. "I trained for years, not to hurt people, but to survive them." Tasha swallowed hard, her confidence gone. What do you mean?" Lina looked down at Brent, who was groaning and trying to stand. "My father was a military instructor," she said softly. "He taught me things most people shouldn't know, and I promised him I'd never use them unless I had to." Her eyes lifted to Tasha. "Today, I had to." For a long, tense moment, no one moved. Then Brent, rage overcoming pain, lunged with his good arm. Lina sidestepped effortlessly, grabbed his collar, and swept his legs in one motion. He hit the floor hard, breath knocked out of him. The sound echoed through the room, leaving everyone silent again. Lina stood over him. "I'm not your victim," she said, her voice calm as ice. "I never was." Megan whimpered, tears filling her eyes. "Please." "We didn't mean—" "Yes, you did," Lina cut her off. "But now you understand what happens when you corner someone who's done being afraid." She stepped back, letting them scramble for the door. Tasha grabbed Brent, who was clutching his arm, and Megan opened the door with shaking hands. Before they ran out, Lina spoke one last time, not as a threat, but as a warning. "Tell everyone whatever you want," she said, standing in the dim light. "But remember, I didn't start this." They fled, their footsteps echoing down the hall like the sound of their own guilt. When the silence returned, Lina exhaled slowly, closing her eyes. Her hands were trembling, not from fear, but from the memories she had buried. She sank to her knees, tears mixing with the dust on the floor. "I promised I wouldn't do this again," she whispered to herself, "but you left me no choice." Outside, the bell rang again. Students filled the hallways, unaware of what had just happened behind that old door. Lina stepped out quietly, hoodie up, expression blank. But something had changed. The weak girl everyone ignored had vanished. In her place walked someone unbreakable, calm, dangerous, and done hiding. As she passed the crowd, whispers began to spread. Someone had seen Tasha crying. Someone had seen Brent's arm twisted. Rumors spread like wildfire, and at the center of it all was the quiet girl with calm eyes, who no one dared touch again. Lina opened her locker, took her books, and whispered under her breath, "You shouldn't have dragged me in." Then she walked away. But this was only the beginning, because the school wasn't ready for who Lina really was, and neither were the bullies who thought they ruled it.